What's going on, everybody? Sausage here. Backrooms games are everywhere right now, so the real question is, does the Backrooms liminal space do anything new, or is it just another yellow hallway simulator? Let's talk about that. So, the gameplay. This is a textbook first-person walking simulator, and the objective is simple: move from point A to point B, and that's pretty much it. You have to reach the exit at the end of each level to progress to the next one, and most of the exits are elevators. Some of the later levels, and I use later loosely, use different exits like holes in the floor. I will say though that there are no enemies, no jump scares, no combat, nothing like that, so if you're worried about that sort of thing, just know that there's none of that in here, but there's also no items, no puzzles, or really interactions of any kind. The progression of the game is purely movement based, and the game includes sprinting but no sprint toggle, and the experience is designed to be atmospheric rather than mechanical. So if the gameplay is about movement and mood, then the visuals must be doing a lot of the heavy lifting here, right? Well, the game uses a real-time VHS filter with grain and scan lines and tape distortion, and I really like that. Now, the visual style is inspired by classic Backrooms imagery, so think yellow walls and yellow carpet and fluorescent lighting, but there's also some areas that have white walls with wooden floors or gray walls with blue and black checkered carpet. There's one area that's very residential and it's got rugs on the floor and furniture everywhere, and there's even a pool rooms environment as well. Not to mention the flickering lights and the footsteps echoing really reinforces the atmosphere. But how long does this experience actually last, and is it worth the asking price? Well, the Backrooms Liminal Space costs $1 on Steam. One complete playthrough took me about 45 minutes, and it's designed to be a single sitting experience, and there's no alternate modes or additional playable chapters as far as I can tell. With all of that said, the Backrooms Liminal Space earns a rating of 6.3 sausages out of 10. First off, in 2026, why do we not have sprint toggle? I just don't understand. Holding shift for an entire playthrough isn't necessarily frustrating, but it's annoying. But the walking speed is extremely slow, so without sprinting, the game would have likely taken me several hours to finish if I had to guess. As for the rest of the gameplay, it never evolves beyond walking. I kept thinking that maybe I'd find an item or a door that I can interact with or some sort of variation like that, but it never happened. In fact, after about 30 minutes, I started to get bored. Visually, the areas are distinct, but they start to blend together over time. What I mean is that there aren't many landmarks to help with navigation, and I get that disorientation is part of the Backrooms lore, but gameplay still needs to have a balance between confusion and engagement. Next, I want to talk about the menu. It shows multiple chapters, including one labeled "Don't Open," that's the second one, and beneath that there's a bunch of red lettering that says error, and it made me feel like this content might exist later, like it's being actively developed, or maybe I could unlock it, but the Steam page doesn't clarify whether this is intentional or cosmetic. Unfortunately, that ambiguity left me slightly disappointed, but with that said, I do like to give credit where credit is due, and this game was made by a 12-year-old, and that's genuinely impressive. Even if the experience didn't fully click for me, the effort and execution deserve credit. So, the Backrooms Liminal Space nails its atmosphere. It delivers a pure liminal experience without any distractions, but it's extremely minimal by design. If you're here strictly for the vibes, you'll probably get what you want, but if you're looking for evolving gameplay or interaction, well, this won't deliver that. For $1, it's not a bad experience, but personally, I'd recommend grabbing it during a 25 to 50% off sale. And to the developer, if you're watching this, seriously, mad respect to you. Kudos, you did a great job, and I hope you take this feedback and build off of it, and I legitimately look forward to seeing your next project. And that's my review of the Backrooms Liminal Space. If you got this far, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a little comment below, but if not, just know that I appreciate your viewership nonetheless. I also stream on Twitch occasionally. I have a Discord for both content creators and casual viewers alike, and I'm a Steam curator, so consider following me on all of those platforms as well. I'll leave a link to everything in the description below. Anyway, I think I'm going to cut my review here. Mahoney out.